Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really digging into something important for many people in India. It's the constitution of the 8th Central Pay Commission for central government employees. Our mission to cut through some of that official language, understand where things really stand, what it means, and, well, what happens next. Okay, let's unpack this.
Absolutely. And what's great here is we have a very specific source. It's like an official snapshot. We're looking at a Lok Sabha unstarred question. That's
Hmm.
150 from July 21st, 2025. And the official reply from the Minister of State and Finance, Shri Pankaj Chaudhary. So this gives us insight straight from the horse's mouth, on a topic affecting so many.
That direct response is key, isn't it? So let's set the scene. Monday, July 21st, 2025. Two MPs, Shri T.R. Balu and Shri Anand Padoria, they put four very specific questions to the finance minister about this 8th pay commission. The first one, question A, was simple. Was the setting up of the commission, announced back in January 2025, actually notified?
Yeah, straight to the point. And then question B followed right up. If yes, give us the details. If not, why not? Especially, after 6 months had gone by. It really pushes for the why behind any delay.
They were definitely aiming for clarity, and they kept going, right. After the if and why not, they went for the when. Question C asked, what's the time frame for appointing the chairperson and the members of the 8th CPC? And what about their terms of reference? And then finally, the big one for many, question D. What's the time frame for implementing the revised pay scales for employees and pensioners?
What's fascinating is how comprehensive these questions are. They were just asking general things. No, they wanted to pin down the specifics. The status now, the timeline for getting it formed, and, crucially, the timeline for the results. When does the pay actually change?
Okay, so those were the questions. Let's get into the answer from the Minister of State for Finance. For those first two questions, A and B, about notification and reasons, the answer was, well, quite specific. It said, it has been decided by the government to constitute the 8th Central Pay Commission, CPC. But then it added something important. Inputs have been sought from major stakeholders, including Ministry of Defense, Ministry of Home Affairs, Department of Personnel and Training, and from states.
Right, and that phrasing, decided to constitute versus notified, that's really where the nuance is. It strongly suggests an internal decision has been made. The government intends to do it. But the formal public, the notification, that hasn't happened yet. And seeking inputs, especially from big players like Defense, Home Affairs, and even the states, well, that points to a pretty thorough groundwork phase. They're doing their homework before launching it officially.
That distinction is crucial. Decided isn't the same as done. And the consultation part, why the states? What's your read on that? Is that standard?
It's the significant detail. Central pay scales often, set a benchmark. They can influence state government pay, PSUs. So consulting the states early. It could be about aiming for wider acceptance, or maybe proactively thinking about the fiscal implications down the line. It sort of suggests they're looking at the broader picture, not just central employees in isolation.
That makes sense. Preparing the ground, maybe. Okay, so the decision's made, inputs are being gathered. What about question C then? The time frame for appointing the chairperson and members. The minister's answer was very clear on the sequence. The chairperson and members of the 8th CPC would be appointed once the 8th CPC is notified by the government.
Exactly. Sequence matters here. Notification first, then appointments. It clarifies that the formal existence of the commission through notification is the necessary first step before people can be put in charge of it.
So that notification is the trigger, the official starting gun, basically. Is it usually just a formality, or does something specific need to happen before they issue it?
It's a key bureaucratic step, yes. It legally establishes the commission. Think of it like the official birth certificate. It's usually triggered once the internal groundwork, maybe some initial consensus on the broad mandate, is complete. Until that Gazette notification is out, you can't really appoint anyone. It makes the whole thing official in the eyes of the law and the public.
Got it. Okay, and the last question, D, about the implementation timeframe for the actual pay revisions. The answer here really laid out the whole chain for you, the listener. It stated, the implementation would be taken up once the recommendations are made by the 8th CPC and are accepted by the government. Wow, so that feels like quite a few steps away.
It really does. It's like a series of dominoes, as you said earlier. Let's map it out. 1, internal decision made. Check. 2, inputs being gathered, happening now. 3, formal notification, future step. 4, appointments made, follows notification. 5, commission does its work, makes recommendations. That takes time. 6, government considers and accepts recommendations, another crucial step. And then finally, step 7, implementation. It really emphasizes that the final outcome people are waiting for is at the very end of a long road.
Okay, so let's bring this all together for you. We heard about an announcement back in January 2025. It's now July 2025. The government has officially stated they have decided to form the Eighth Pay Commission. That's confirmed. But the formal notification hasn't happened yet. Appointing members comes after that. And the actual implementation of new pay scales, that's even further down the line, depending on when the commission finishes its work and the government accepts the report. So things are moving, but methodically. What stands out most to you from this official back and forth?
Well, wrapping up, I think these official documents like this Luxaba Q&A are just invaluable. They cut through speculation. The key takeaways seem clear. One, the 8th CPC is going to be constituted, the decision's firm. Two, they're currently in a phase of gathering input from key players defense, home, DOPT, and the states. That's significant. Three, the next big public step to watch for is the formal notification. Appointments follow that. Implementation follows acceptance of recommendations much later. It really underscores that this is a deliberate process, not just a quick switch.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. It certainly clarified the sequence of events. And as we finish, here's something to think about. Given this careful, consultative approach bringing in defense, home, the states, what might that signal? Could the Eighth Pay Commission be tasked with more than just adjusting pay scales? Might we see it explore broader reforms or strategic shifts in government compensation policy? Something to ponder about the long-term implications of this commission's work.